got the right bitch. No lefty walking my truth, don't fuck with my 17 crawl for you walk. Run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue, spit.
If they're attracted to us, if they like us, they're still straight. Get over it.
As beautiful as you are, ma'am, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think if a man is there with you, he's there for the extra surprise at the end of the rainbow. He's there for the gold. Society has such a strong hold on our minds, and I know it's hard for some men to accept in reality what they really love. But the reality is, it's just a buffer to Gayville, to me. Now, they may strictly love the beautiful face of a woman, but at the end of the day, they want that sausage, and they want it with a cherry on top. That's all it is. It's basically a cherry on the top. And I feel bad because I feel like she is kind of propping herself up like she's so beautiful, which she is, and she has the right to feel that way. But the reality is, men like you, or men who like you because they know the reality of what's going on. But there may be a sausage at the end of that rainbow. And then a personal story, if you go back into my stories, I just talk about this Jewish lawyer. And I just talk about, the relationship and how awkward it was and how I had to play up being more masculine because I didn't know what they wanted from me exactly. I was in my people-pleasing era, which is a horrible era for me. And, one day he invites me out and says, hey, I'm going out to dinner. I'm going to bring all my friends. You should come check it out. We're going to have a great time. We're going to go to the club afterwards. And because I was so nervous to meet the friends, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to play it up. Or the friend's going to be like, who are you? What are your connections to my friend? Because everyone's always fighting to be closer to the main person of the clique. And I felt like I was already there, but I felt people were going to be sizing me up. So I ended up showing up late. And then when I get there, he goes, why are you late? I got this table. I set up a tour with the host so we can meet the chef and we can see what the meals they were going to make, and you missed the whole thing. So at one point I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And at one point I was like, oh, damn, that's fucked up. And then out of the 8 guys, 3 of us had a private conversation. So it was me, him, and another person having a private conversation. I can't remember if the hostess was trans, but whatever the case was, a trans conversation comes up. And out of nowhere, he says, yeah, I met a trans girl in the club, and I took her home. We went in a hotel, and we woke up together, and... excuse me? Instantly. One point I was like, well, at least he had probably no one to tell the story to, and he's telling me the story. But in one sense, I was just like shocked that this man who had so many obligations in his personal life had room for trans women. And he must have enjoyed it. Me personally, I'm not aligned with that frequency as much as I can appreciate the lifestyle and confidence of someone saying, this is my life and I'm gonna do it. It just wasn't my vibe. I instantly was turned off. But women, these guys like trans women. It's
Only motherfucking thing that Baby Cisco said that made any sense was that these guys like trans women. You are absolutely right, little Cisco. These guys do like trans women. These girls like trans women. These trans like trans women. The non-binaries like trans women. The celebrities like trans women. Athletes like trans women. And you know what? It's the same with every other fucking graphic, Baby Cisco, honey. These niggas really like everything that move on 2 legs. Some of them don't even... 4 legs is fine. Some of them you don't need no legs. But we're going to break down how Baby Cisco is transphobic because, like I said, I'm here for my people who want to learn. Right? So we're going to run through it.
As beautiful as you are, ma'am, I'm going to have to disagree.
First of all, I think that this child is already intimidated by the trans woman's beauty because he's bringing it up too much. We talking about sexuality. We having a real conversation where you get ready to disrespect a whole group of people. We don't need you talking about somebody's looks. We can all see her. We can all see that she's stunningly beautiful. You never even had to bring that up. She never brought it up in her video. But run it.
I think if a man is there with you, he's there for the extra surprise at the end of the rainbow. He's there for the gold. So
First of all, there is a huge variety of men who date various trans women because there's a huge variety of trans women. So a man dating a trans woman could be for various reasons. And don't get me wrong, I don't buy into that whole stereotype. I don't buy into that I don't date straight men. I don't date men who identify as straight, bitch. I am beyond the binary. I am beyond heterosexuality. I am beyond the norm. I need for any partner I have to feel the same. I ain't checking for no straight man. However, there are straight men who be attracted to the girls. And when I say straight, I mean somebody who was born with a penis, who is strictly into people who do not have a penis. People who do not look like men. I don't see why that can't be straight. There are many men who have sex with trans women and don't know that they're trans. Ever. For the rest of their life, they won't know. That doesn't change their sexuality. That to me is an example of the exception. But for somebody who is looking for a trans woman, who dates trans women, who date trans women, trans men, honey, who will sleep around with cross-dressers, baby, you aren't straight. You aren't nowhere near straight, honey. But you can try and hold on to that cis hetero identity all you want. It's your prerogative. Me personally, I think it looks late, childish, very 90s. Very outdated. Very old school, very backwoods, very, I brush my teeth every other day, very, you know. So I say all that to say that this child is being a whole motherfucking fool again because he's talking about a cherry on top and he's talking about, you know, they come for the surprise and they come for the gold. Baby, sometimes there is no gold, there is no cherry, there is no surprise, and the man didn't go into it being aware that there was possibly one. They don't be knowing that it's a penis with all of the girls. All of the girls don't have a penis. Donnell. With this wide forehead. Run it.
Society has such a strong hold on our minds, and I know it's hard for some men to accept in reality what they really love. But the reality is, it's just a buffer to Gayville.
Now, see, you know how I tell y'all all the time, a broken clock is right even twice a day. And I agreed with Donnell mid-thought. I agreed with him mid-thought. For a lot of people who are trans attracted, for a lot of men who do like dick, they don't want to be considered gay. They don't want to be considered queer. They still want to be considered straight. And I think that that's personally a mental health issue. But Donnell also said, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to let him say it.
Accept in reality what they really love. But the reality is, it's just a buffer to Gayville. To me.
To me. To you. Donnell then publicly came out with a platform of hundreds of thousands of people and said that he thinks that us trans women are just a buffer to Gayville. Are just a buffer to Gayville for men. But that's his opinion. Donnell, what backs up your opinion? Your head might be shaped like Stewie, but I don't think you're a genius. I don't think you got no time machines in your bedroom, Donnell. Have you published any studies? Have you written any articles? Have you been involved in any research? Do you even do advocacy work? Do you have trans women friends? Where are you getting your information from that men are just smashing us to get to you. That's Donnell, that's awful entitled. But I can't blame you because you are still a cisgender man in this patriarchal society, and you are gay at that. So not only do you think that the world revolves around you innately, you also think that sexually the world revolves around men. The majority would differ. The majority would disagree. The majority would say that sexuality tends to lie more in femininity. That's what the majority is saying. Don't know. But I don't want to talk too much. I might end up losing you because I know you such a genius with all that brain in that head.
Now they may strictly love the beautiful face of a woman, but at the end of the day, they want that sausage and they want it with a cherry on top. That's all it is. It's basically a cherry on top.
And see, I told y'all, Donnell is wrapped in this delusion that everybody finds masculinity attractive and that everybody is just, vying for that penis. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Donnell, but it is men who I've had to kick out of my home because they thought that they were going to neglect the fact that I had a penis. And you know why they thought that, Donnell? Because it's so common for trans women to have bottom dysphoria and to disassociate from their penises sexually. But see, if you had any trans friends, or if you read any studies, or if you wrote any, or maybe if you just picked up a book or listened to a really good trans TikTok, you would have knew that. For a lot of us, it turns our partners on that we have a penis that we don't want them to touch. They feel like they're dominating us. They feel like they're dominating a unicorn. Donnell, I could talk about this with you for days, but I think we're gonna end it here. And the whole story about the Jewish lawyer. Remember, Donnell was talking about the Jewish lawyer. Donnell missed out on the Jewish lawyer. I bet he had a coin. Donnell, you looking dusty, honey. Them walls looking like you could use a coin. And girl, I ain't judging because I could use a coin right now too. But what I would not do is fuck up a tea with a Jewish lawyer. I would not fuck up a tea with a coin because they was attracted to somebody who don't look like me. And that's why I believe, again, that Donnell is intimidated by the beauty of a trans woman. And if he's intimidated by the beauty of a trans woman, he's intimidated by the beauty of cisgender women as well. That's why I be telling y'all, see, a lot of y'all cis women, my good sisters, y'all run over here with the butch queens that talk crazy about us like that. And, y'all will live for it, honey. Y'all are living and y'all bathe and bask in the ambiance. But little do you realize, baby, they're showing you misogyny, honey. They're showing you that they don't like you neither, honey, baby. If anything, they secretly like us more than they like y'all because they can understand us more. I gotta give a shout out to Asia Balenciaga because, honey, she shut Donnell ass down, honey, and then Donnell started showing his true colors. I told y'all it was transphobia, honey, but I can continue showing y'all receipts every time I read somebody. Asia was like, just because you consider yourself a piece of meat don't mean we have to. What if she has a sex change? This is crazy, responding to Donnell. And then Donnell said you gaslighting and accused Asia of gaslighting, and then he said there's only XX and XY, and he goes into that Republican transphobic rhetoric. I spoke of Cache a couple of months ago on a live. Cache is unfortunately one of the many black women of trans experience who have lost their lives simply for being trans. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to find Cache's assailant just yet. But do your girl a favor, honey. I don't be asking y'all for a lot. I might come on here and ask for 50 cents every now and then to pay my rent or something. But I feel like that's not a lot. But if I want y'all to do anything for me today, I want y'all to sign this motherfucking petition. It ain't gonna cost you a cent, honey. All they gonna ask you for is an email address to verify that the same person ain't signing over and over again. Link is in the description. Please sign the Justice for Cache petition. Justice for Cache.